Welcome to my channel Starwire Daily. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. They were Hollywood royalty, a rock and roll dynasty built not on platinum albums alone, but on a foundation of chaos, candor, and a reality show that changed television forever. For a decade, we had a front row seat to the beautiful, messy, and utterly captivating world of the Osbourne family. We laughed with them, cringed with them, and felt like we knew the unbreakable bond between Sharon, Ozzy, Kelly, and Jack. But what happens when the cameras stop rolling? When the empire begins to crumble under the weight of its own fame? And when one sister decides that the price of that fame is simply too high? This is the story of Aimee Osbourne, the quietest Osbourne, the one who watched from the shadows, and the one whose voice, when it finally echoed through the halls of that legendary mansion, didn't just cause a ripple, it shattered the entire family portrait. Music shifts to something more tense and atmospheric, with a slow, driving beat. To understand the explosion, you have to understand the pressure cooker. From 2002 to 2011, The Osbournes wasn't just a TV show, it was a cultural phenomenon. An estimated 70 million people tuned in every week to watch the domestic dysfunctions of a heavy metal icon and his sharp-tongued wife. Ozzy, the Prince of Darkness, was portrayed as a lovable, bumbling dad, constantly bewildered by modern life. Sharon was the unmovable rock, the matriarch holding it all together with a perfectly coiffed bob and a withering glare. And then there were the kids, Kelly, the fiery, outspoken rebel with a heart of gold, and Jack, the eccentric, tech-savvy prince with a flair for the dramatic. It was a perfect, beautifully packaged lie. A fairy tale of dysfunction that sold millions of albums, launched 1,000 memes, and made the Osbournes household names. But for Aimee, the middle child, the second daughter, she was often an afterthought. The camera seemed to forget she was even in the room. While Kelly and Jack's every teenage tantrum and romantic squabble became primetime entertainment, Aimee was the silent observer, the keeper of secrets, the one who seemed to understand, even then, that their carefully constructed reality was a house of cards. She was the fifth wheel in a four-person show. And for a teenager, there is nothing more isolating than that. As the show ended and the family stepped back into the harsh light of reality, the cracks began to show. The empire they had built started to show its fault lines. Ozzy's well-documented battles with addiction and health issues became more pronounced. Sharon, the ever-dutiful manager and mother, found herself stretched thinner than ever, juggling her husband's care, her children's careers, and her own. And the siblings, once united in the spotlight, began to drift. Kelly launched a successful music career, but also became known for her public feuds and a very public battle with addiction. Jack carved out his own niche in the world of tech and fashion, but his relationship with his parents, particularly his father, was often strained. Through it all, Aimee remained the outsider. She pursued her own passions, primarily music, but she did so away from the Osbourne brand. She watched as her family's life became a constant cycle of public drama, tabloid headlines, and reality TV comebacks. While Kelly and Jack seemed to thrive on the attention, Aimee appeared to recoil from it. She saw the toll it was taking, and she chose a different path. Silence. For years, her silence was interpreted as indifference, or perhaps resentment. But in reality, it was a form of self-preservation. She was the daughter who got out, or so she thought. Then, in May 2022, the silence was broken. Not with a whisper, but with a thunderclap. In a series of candid and heartbreaking interviews with The Telegraph, Aimee Osbourne finally spoke. And what she said sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. She didn't hold back. She painted a picture of a toxic family dynamic, a world where loyalty was conditional and mental health was a battlefield. She spoke of the immense pressure she felt growing up in the public eye, of being the spare to Kelly's heir. She detailed the suffocating control and the emotional manipulation she experienced, not just from the outside world, but from within her own home. Her most damning revelation? That she hadn't spoken to her parents, Sharon and Ozzy, in nearly 2 years. The reason? She claimed they had effectively disowned her after she refused to sign a new, restrictive reality TV contract. a contract, she alleged, that would have paid her siblings handsomely, but left her with a fraction of the earnings. She called it a toxic environment, a machine designed to profit off their pain. The world stopped. This wasn't the quiet, forgotten Aimee Osbourne. This was a woman who had found her voice, and she was using it to dismantle the very family empire that had made her famous. The fallout was immediate and brutal. The family fractured. Publicly, Kelly Osbourne, never one to shy away from a fight, fired back. She defended her parents, accusing Aimee of lying and stirring up trouble for a cheap headline. She painted Aimee as ungrateful. And what about Sharon Ozzy? The silence from them was deafening. For days, they said nothing. This, in itself, was a statement. While Kelly and Jack were on the front lines, defending the family name, Ozzy and Sharon retreated. It was later revealed that this was the period of profound turmoil that would eventually lead to their shocking separation and Sharon's decision to file for divorce after 38 years of marriage. Many insiders believe Aimee's interview was the final, fatal blow to their union. The public airing of such deep-seated family issues, just months after Ozzy's cancer diagnosis and relapse, proved to be an unbearable strain. The foundation of their marriage, already cracked by decades of crisis, finally gave way. So where does that leave us? Where does that leave them? Today, the wounds are still raw. Reconciliation seems like a distant dream. Aimee continues her journey, focusing on her music and her advocacy for mental health awareness, seemingly at peace with the distance she's created. She has found a sense of self outside the shadow of her famous family. Kelly remains a force of nature on social media and television, fiercely protective of her parents and her own narrative. Jack continues to navigate his own health scares and family responsibilities, often acting as the public spokesperson for the clan. And Sharon and Ozzy? Their divorce proceedings have been messy, public, and heartbreaking for fans who grew up watching their love story. They speak of love and friendship, but the trust, it seems, is gone. The man of the house is battling Parkinson's. The matriarch is picking up the pieces of her life. And the two children who were once the show stars are now adults, navigating their own complicated lives, forever marked by the family that made them. Was Aimee Osbourne a hero, speaking a difficult truth to power? Or was she a villain, stabbing her vulnerable family in the back for personal gain? There are no easy answers. In the world of the Osbournes, the lines between love and business, loyalty and exploitation, have always been blurred. Aimee just had the courage to say it out loud. She chose herself, and in a family built on sacrifice, that choice was seen as the ultimate betrayal. The story of the Osbourne family is a powerful reminder that even the most glittering facades can hide deep, dark secrets. It's a cautionary tale about the corrosive nature of fame and the devastating cost of a family feud played out for the world to see. It forces us to ask ourselves, what is family? Is it blood? Or is it the bonds we choose to nurture? The Osbournes chose to nurture an empire. And in the end, the empire came crashing down. What do you think? Was Aimee Osbourne justified in speaking out? Or did she go too far? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. If you were captivated by the dramatic downfall of a Hollywood dynasty, then don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to StarWire Daily for more exclusive stories from the world of celebrity gossip and scandal. Click the notification bell so you never miss a story. Thanks for watching. Stay golden.